Good evening. It's Melissa Mansfield Baker of The Bunny Life. And tonight is our first show, and we're talking about the importance of confidence, things you can do to stay confident, and different tips and tools and tricks. And what we're talking about is what's going to be coming in January. So, one of the things that it's important to know about with The Bunny Life is what it stands for. And what it stands for is bold, unforgettable, nurturing, novel, you. Lovable, intelligent, fearless, and exquisite. So some of the things. Hi, Trisha. Thank you so much for joining. Hi, Joshua. Good evening. Thank you. I'm so glad you joined. What we're focusing on today is one of the ways to be confident is to make sure that you're ready and prepared for things that are coming your way. And one of the best ways to do that is what a lot of us already do. We read our horoscopes every day to see what the day says and what might be coming. Well, I have Reverend Charlene Hicks here through Skype. I love technology. And she is going to be giving us a synopsis of what's coming for January 2016 in the stars. And then 3 of our lucky viewers have written in some questions, and she's going to be answering their specific questions tonight. So I'm so excited. I love a new year. It's always a fresh change, something new. I don't do resolutions. I do dissolutions. Good question about Sagittarius. I think what she's going to do is a broad general 2016 January reading. I do dissolutions, and what that means is I let go of things instead of committing to anything big. So I'm going to introduce Reverend Charlene now. She is world-renowned. She's read at the White House. She's been flown overseas and read for multiple millionaires. Hi, I don't know how to say your name, Reverend Seeging. Nice to meet you. Oh no, K-Bonus, that's a tough one. Well, here's Reverend Charlene. She's with us on Skype, and she's going to talk to us about what's coming for January 2016. Charlene, over to you.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. If anyone can't hear Reverend Charlene, please let us know. I think we're good. We're good.
All right. Well, 2016's we're fast approaching as of this week. We had the full moon last week. That brought in a lot of changes. But in particular, what's significant about 2016 is that Saturn is now in Sagittarius and will be there for the next 2 years. And Sagittarius is a sign that deals with the future, rules nature, agricultural things, it rules law, religion, philosophy, and people that don't live close by. So the one thing that we've noticed is that the last time that Saturn was in Sagittarius was in 1986 and 87. And here in the Atlanta area, we had a drought that started then, and Lake Lanier pretty much almost dried up. So now we have all this rains because of El Nino, but at the same time, extremely warm weather. And in 86 and 87, we didn't have much of a winter. It was warm. It was like 65, 70. Maybe a couple of cold days, but that was it. So far, it started off, we had record-breaking temperatures already, far exceeding anything that's normal for winter for us. And along with Saturn and Sagittarius, which is a fire sign, we have Uranus in a fire sign in Aries. So in 86 and 87, we had the same thing. Saturn and Uranus with both in Sagittarius bringing a lot warmer weather and a drought. This time we have it in 2 fire signs. A lot warmer weather we've already experienced. And it also has an aspect that if it's not going to be a water issue for us, that it could be an agricultural issue, because Saturn usually brings some kind of restriction or an awareness. So our awareness may be that we have warm weather and all of a sudden we have a cold snap, and then the plants are blooming and flowering, and it could affect the fruit trees. It could affect our crops if it continues to be like this, really warm, and all of a sudden we have a cold snap. So Saturn brings some kind of restrictions usually. But it also indicates that new discoveries in space and outside our solar system, because Sagittarius rules the superconscious mind and the going the greater distance. So in the next 2 years, we're going to be learning a lot more about other solar systems besides our own, other galaxies being discovered. And that's all part of Saturn and Sagittarius.
So I have a question for you.
The other aspects that we'll be looking at is with Uranus is in Aries, combining that. Uranus has to do with sudden and abrupt changes without warning. So it could indicate that because we have the fire signs, there could be more volcano activity coming up for us in the next 2 years.
Ooh, cold in
And
Colorado.
also, besides the warmer weathers, Uranus has to do with aspects that the unpredictable. You know,
Charlene,
we think it's
Charlene, I have a question for you. What would you say with astrologically right now in January? What would you say is the biggest thing that we should look for? Are you saying it's agriculture, or is there anything else going on out there? And what would you say is the most challenging part of having the stars set up this way right now?
Well, the challenging part is how it affects, in regards to our crops and vegetation, agricultural things.
So our farmers will really be affected by this particular.
Farmers. That okay. Could be an aspect that comes up with this, the way the plants line up. So far, the weathermen have not been able to predict the weather very well. They said it was going to be a cold winter, and yet we had the air conditioning on at church on December 24th. And I've been going to that church since 1964. We have never, ever had the air conditioning on Christmas Eve. So
we have the air conditioning on right now.
Sorry, the weatherman's wrong. So anyway, and I've been saying this for a long time. Everybody's like, oh, sure, right. No, well, we had it 30 years ago. Why should it be any different?
Okay.
But anyway, so this month in particular, the main thing about January is everybody's like, after the first 2 weeks, they finally get back in the swing of things and the energy starts moving forward.
Oh, it's cold in Denver.
The people that will feel the most changes are going to be Sagittarius and Aries people.
Okay, what kind of changes? What kind of changes can Sagittarius and Aries people expect right now for January?
Well, for those people in particular, Sagittarius people have a lot of major changes coming up as far as place of residence, their work, and it's a time where they are really taken seriously. Whatever they've always wanted to have happen, now the opportunities are presenting themselves to them.
Okay, and what about Aries? Does it fall the same?
Aries, it's more about be ready to man battle stations. You know, what is 1 week, next week could be totally different. It changes. There's a lot of variables that they're having to deal with.
So astrologically, Aries and Sagittarius are the signs most affected this particular month. Is that correct?
Yeah, but this particular month in Capricorn people, because it's their birthday as well as Aquarius people.
Okay. I want to move on to the.
Capricorn has a lot to do. What?
I want to move on to the questions now because I know that you're busy. I don't want to keep you from, you might have clients this evening. So we had 3 questions right in, and one of them was from Paula, and her question was, and just to let viewers know, Reverend Charlene Hicks, when she does read for you, she needs your birthday, your time of birth, where you were born. She pulls a full chart, so it's pretty serious business when you get to ask her questions. So these 3 people are very lucky. Paula asked, what big life change do you see in her chart for 2016?
Well, the biggest thing that's coming up for Paula, according to the aspects that she has around here, would be about relationships. Changes in relationship or a new relationship coming into her life that could be with a Sagittarius person, a person that's a lawyer, someone that travels for a living. Her biggest thing for the whole year is all about relationships and partnerships.
I'm sure she's happy to hear that.
Changes coming up for her, and a lot of it could be actually happening this month.
Oh my gosh!
The way
Okay.
her chart lines up, there's a lot of things. She's got the planets are in Capricorn, her Venus is in Capricorn.
Hey, preacher.
And Jupiter is sitting there, so it's really a very lucky time for her as far as her business, but especially in regards to her work and partnerships. And it could be a big bonus in her work that comes in, something that's totally outstanding. It's once in a 12-year cycle. So it's like something just, I call it the curveball from outer space. Something totally unexpected that it's really, really good.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. I just want to take a quick break and say hi to some people. Hi, preacher. I can see that you'd like to ask a question. If you want to follow me on the Bunny Life Facebook, you can message me and you can get on the list for February. Every month we'll be doing this with Charlene at the first of the month. So please get in a question. We already have 1 of the 3 spoken for. The next person is Cliff, and he wrote in, he wanted to know, with all of the changes going on in his life right now, What do you see as the most positive thing happening for him in 2016?
Well, for Clifton, the most positive thing is if he's been wanting to move or get a bigger, better place to live, that shows that that aspect is there for him. Something improves about his home life. It could be maybe he's going to buy a rental property or buy an escape home, like at the beach or the mountains. And it shows that, I don't know if he's here in the Atlanta area or not far from you where he's calling in from, but it definitely shows a lot of coastal things around him. Where
Okay.
he'd be going to warmer climates like to Florida, or maybe even relocating to further south than where he finds himself.
Okay. All right. And then the third one was from Bonnie, and she is in the process of starting a new business with her husband. And she's curious what you see for possibilities with that business.
Well, it shows to be really
Okay, Bonnie,
good
you're
because
cracking
the
me up. Cut it
aspects that
out.
she has shows a major turning point for her, and like a new launch. It's almost like she's at NASA. The rocket's ready to go off in space, and they have the right people there to help this get launched. And a lot of this stuff she's initiated in November and in December, and in January, February is a good time for it to start taking off. The new
Okay,
year.
wonderful. Now, a lot of people have been mentioning that they have questions for you, and you obviously, people from all over the country can reach Charlene, and she is fantastic. And your Periscope handle is Reverend Charlene Hicks 77? Rev Charlene Hicks 77? Is that correct?
That's it.
Okay, so add Rev Charlene Hicks 77. I believe she's going to be starting a show in the next couple of weeks on Sundays. And she'll be live scoping and potentially be doing some readings for people as well. If you want to have a question answered, please go to Facebook, The Bunny Life, and you'll see me, and you can send in messages. And we will take questions at the beginning of every single month. Like I said, 1 out of the 3 is already spoken for February, so get those in quickly, first come, first serve. And of course, I will be posting information about her show that's coming up as well. But just to recap, Aries and Sagittarius, it looks like really big months for you guys. The new year, we need to watch out for our farmers and hope that we're going to get our favorite fruits and vegetables at a decent price this summer. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Next week, I'm going to have pastoral counselor Greg Griffin on the show, and we're going to be discussing relationship issues, specifically for those of us that are middle-aged and dating, with some different tips and advice on how to find a good mate, what to look for, and what to make sure you don't get stuck with. So if you have questions for him, he's going to be taking 3 questions as well. You just need to send the question to theswedishbunny@gmail.com. And if your question is chosen, I will reach out to you and get some more information. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Hi, Carpe Diem. Thank you for joining. We appreciate your time and have a wonderful evening. Maybe. Don't go anywhere. I had to shut off my phone. My phone got too hot.